Yeah. No, it's everything is so flooded with the chemicals and just things that are bad for us. And then they're promoted as, oh, it's good and healthy. That's just not the case.
right? So post whatever, and if there's, it's up to everyone to do their due diligence to study out what, and they can ask, and I can research pretty quick, but I know where to go because I've been doing this for over a decade. Um, does anyone know if Sarah's coming?
She may show up, and yeah, exactly, Sister Faith, like citrus.
Yeah, citric acid. Yeah, right. Ugh.
Usually Sarah does show up during our fellowships, though.
I hope she does because she is in the next town over, and our schedules. I'm sure she's like really busy, as am I. Um, but she is an actual holistic professional, isn't she not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she does that. I forget exactly what it is her profession is, but yeah, it's definitely in that field, and she has a lot of information about it all as well.
Right. So, okay, so I want to tell you, this is how I came to all this. We were trying to heal my son who was diagnosed with autism. Um, when he got his 6 month shots, he regressed. Like he was mimicking what we were saying at 5 months, and we were floored. So we whipped him off to the doctor just to show him, And and he's like, "Oh, it's probably a fluke." I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, we were going through just the ones that, you do mom, dad, whatever. And he was doing the hard consonant sound. At 5 months, I'm like, come on. Well, we didn't have axes yet. And we didn't, because we denied the beginning, and then, so then we tossed and turned with the 6 month, because neither of us really knew. I had, I have a son with Down syndrome who they told me that was all part of the Down syndrome when he regressed after his 6 month vaccines. And I didn't even put the two together until after, obviously. And then Chet he stopped verbalizing. He was constantly screaming. He was, um, yeah, he wouldn't eat. It was a mess. And the doctor just said that that's just being babies. And then we got the next 6 months. It was just, we started investigating and kicking ourselves, and so we moved to Indiana. And when he was about 2, we met with a holistic practitioner. She had a bunch of different licenses and all that, and she's about 45 minutes from us. So she gave us the detox protocol, and it was zeolite and there were 2 other things that we used to put on his feet, like nothing even in the mouth. Put it on his feet 3 times a day, like you got 50 drops of this or 50 drops of whatever. And we were diligent with it. And within a week, the screaming stopped. And then he would try, he was trying more foods, and I was like, okay. So my husband said, okay, you know what? Find out what these are, because we paid, it was a little over $500 to get the meds and the eval and all that from her, and military doesn't cover that. So there was, so we're out of pocket here. And so that's when he said, if I'm going to put, lay $500 down, you might as well just go with the herbs and we'll do it ourselves. And so that's where it started. And from there, we, we detoxed him a while and still had trouble focusing. So that's where I had to, distract his brain. And so every mealtime I would sit there and I would teach him, or, just go through the numbers. We wrote 1 to 100. I don't know how many times. Then I taught him skip counting, all these different things, right? To keep, and then every time he would answer, I'd shove something in his mouth. Which he ended up reading it 3 years. Like literally reading, picked up my husband's book because he was a history fanatic, and that had the Gettysburg Address, and he was reading the big words, and which just blew us away. But so we've been using herbs and colloidal silver and gosh, the tooth powder, the toothpaste, the everything. And Chet today, now we've hit puberty, and we've not 100% with the with, autism still, likes to rear its ugly head. Um, but when he hit puberty, everything changed. So what was working then before is not necessarily working as well now. So it is now I'm trying to figure this out. And I won't, part of it is compliance from him. So it's not to say that there aren't a bunch of things out there that would work. He's 14. So it's what
But yeah,
I can
that
get him to do.
the
Like
ripe old age of
Parasite.
14.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Remember when? So
Yeah.
when I have to say though, when he is on a parasite cleanse, he actually his behaviors greatly improve. Like greatly improve. So the thing is, again, getting him to willingly do it. So, which I thought was very interesting because autism is just, they've got the heavy metals and parasites feed on the heavy metals and so on and so forth. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
No, no, it can be tough getting anybody of that age to do things that are beneficial for them, you know?
right, for sure.
Kim, I'm going to share something with you that I'm getting for Hannah. Will he do like a spray? Um, this is for a parasite cleanse that I'm doing on Hannah, and it's a spray. It's really strong, but it's really effective, and it doesn't taste like anything. And I don't know, maybe like sprays could be easier.
I can get Chet to take I've got whole protocols. It's he can take capsules. He'll drink. He actually doesn't think my parasite tea is that bad. Which is terrible. It tastes terrible, I think. But it's just a matter of the complying part. So even when I have him, and it's just hit and miss. Can you flip what's on the back? What's in it? Because I've got some great parasite cleanses, and they're all herbal. And then like you can take for heavy metal detox, you can do a bentonite clay or a diatomaceous earth mixed in water and drink that too. It tastes, chalky, but it'll cross like diatomaceous earth will cross the blood brain barrier and pull it out. There are other clays too. Activated charcoal. A lot of people will use activated charcoal with the diatomaceous earth. But we've got it all. It's just getting the compliance.
Yeah, I've heard the diatomaceous earth is really good. Putting it in water. Oh, there's all the ingredients there.
As all, yeah.
Yeah, so
What do you pay for that? Can I ask that? And is
I
it
keep
by mouth?
forgetting that I can talk. I keep forgetting I can talk. It's a spray, and so for Hannah, because she's like 30 pounds, I'm giving her 2 sprays, but I paid $28 for it.
All right. Yeah, it's see, and I've got I have most of the ingredients on them that I could really probably make a tincture and then combine it.
yeah, I've seen your apothecary there. You got there, sister.
Right.
That's awesome.
Um, hmm, I'll have to look into it. Maybe I've got everything. It's just because so one of the things that we ran into was my husband's heart failure. And I think I've talked about it. I don't know if I've talked about it actually with you guys. So he was in the hospital. He was at the time 36, and he was in the military. A lot of trauma as a child, starting at 4 years old. So the stress will actually break down your heart and cause it to malfunction. Stress, PTSD, all that, depression. And I actually found an article by this guy that was in the Air Force, and that actually is what got us approved for the death benefits because they were fighting me. I'm like, whatever. So he's in the hospital two weeks, and they couldn't get things rolling, and they gave him 6 months to live, max. And they moved him to ICU to another hospital, and that's when I started sneaking in all of my, all of Yahuah's medicine. I mean, I brought him probiotics and I mean, just the littlest thing like green apples, like that I knew were organic. All these instead of, because they only had him like on 3 meds, but he was under watch, right? So you have to make sure that if you're on meds that your herbs aren't going to interact with them. But I brought in all these different things, put together a multivitamin for him for his heart that had beta blockers in, hawthorn berry, hawthorn leaf, all these things, turmeric with, black pepper and a healthy fat, so avocado or coconut oil. So I did all these things. He was out in 7 days, like 7 days, and I had him taking dandelion leaf on top of the prescription. It wasn't lace. What was it? I can't think of what it is. It starts with M, I think. Anyway, so to get the water down and all that stuff, he lost 66 pounds in 3 weeks of the fluid that he was retaining. Turns out he had a valve in his heart that wouldn't shut, and it was wreaking havoc, of course, on all the systems. But they, of course, they say that it was all their meds, and okay, whatever. It totally wasn't. This is divine intervention. There's no way. Who gets out of the hospital in a week? And they were blown away. It's like, oh, maybe it just needed time to get them. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we got him home, and I actually was, looking at our food and all that. And there is a holistic cardiologist, Joel Kahn, that like he has, like, I don't know about the stars, but you know what I mean? They call him a celebrity cardiologist. So I went to his website and I was looking through and I was going to get his book. Well, I did get his book actually. And then I went on his website and messaged him and said, I'd really love your input. I know you're busy, blah, blah, whatever. 10 minutes later, I'm getting a phone call and his name come up on the caller ID. And I just looked at my husband. I'm like, you are kidding me. And so I talked to him for about half hour. And he says to me, he's like, why don't you get your license? I'm like, I don't want to be unalived. Because in that year the number count was like 126 holistic doctors murdered. And from like little town to big town, and they were just going across. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just make my stuff and just give it away. But panic and fear of what we didn't understand led me to, and I say healthy, I'll say a healthy fear and panic, because it led me to research all of Yahuah's medicine and figure out how to apply it. So we've seen it over and again throughout our family with the herbs and clays and colloidal silver and DMSO and all the things. So that's what we use.
No, I've seen it here as well. My son Callan, it was a few years ago, but he was really sick and ill, like he couldn't move, he was thrown up. I gave him some colloidal silver, some elderberry, and mullein, and like a couple hours later, he was feeling fine. Like he wasn't sick anymore. He was up and running around, and I was just like, "Wow, that's it."
Yeah, that's awesome. And you make your own colloidal silver?
No, I had bought some, but I do want to get into making my own. I just don't have a machine to do that,
Oh,
unfortunately.
it's so easy. And Mike, over at Life Force, colloidal silver, I don't know if it's lifeforcecolloidalsilver.com, something like that. He personally tests each of his, I think he's just a one-man band, really, but he makes the machines and tests them. And if I had an issue with one of them running hot, and of course, he would just replace it. And he's like, I sent it back so he could fix it. He paid for the shipping, all really nice guy. And, like he'll email you well, in my case, he called me because I had a lot of questions because I was trying to make it in bulk because there were so many people. I was a member of the American Legion at the time, and a lot of older people with a lot of issues that were tired of their, meds net. So I was making colloidal silver by the gallon. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's something it's important to make on your own so you don't have to spend a bunch of money buying this stuff
Right.
online and you don't know what's in the stuff online as well,
Well, and I know that there are a couple sites that'll tell you that you can't store it like long term because all the silver will eventually fall out of, to the bottom, and that is true to an extent, but it still has a potency. So, like when I make my colloidal silver, we don't go over 40 ppm for oral use because the particles get larger and then the body has a hard time breaking it down. I think that in extreme cases, they have used up to even 200 parts per million, which is a larger particle, but they are trying, I don't know, like it's a serious, huge infection. Um, but colloidal silver, we've been using this forever, and we put it in our eyes and I mean, we drink it. The first thing is, you know what, go pop some colloidal silver. Usually I'm like, you know what, let it run its course and all that. With my sons, they are obviously immune compromised. Their immune system is wonky. But
Yeah,
it's I don't know. They've rarely been sick. I mean, they get the cold here and there, and we ran into a sore throat thing that I never got. Um, and I don't know where they got it because we don't go anywhere. But it went through the two younger ones, and then the older one. Well, no, I guess my daughter didn't get it too. I don't know what they're doing, playing in the yard, whatever. I don't know where I was, but I didn't get it. And it's colloidal silver, and I made a really terrible tasting herbal cough syrup. So they took that and it coated the throat and all that, helped with the lungs. And yeah, we use Maline too. It's excellent for your lungs.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think that may have something to do with what they spray in the skies over us with the sore throats, because
Yeah,
I know Callan quite often as well.
yeah, I didn't think about it. It's just one thing
Yeah,
after
those,
another.
yeah, yeah, in every way they can too.
As I look at the
It's
chemtrails in
wild.
the sky right now.
Yeah, 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 exactly, Cheyenne. And yeah, I'm looking. Well, it's pretty cloudy here right now, but usually you can just see like the checkerboard across the sky. And it's wild, honestly, and it's sad.
Yeah. I know that they spray heavily up in Minnesota, Wisconsin, in the north, right? Because I think our wind patterns bring it down. My friend Kelly, who is not here, but she is forever. There's rarely a day that there's not the grid in the sky.
That's about
It's
how
just
it is here.
it's
There's
crazy.
hardly ever just a clear sky or natural clouds. It's always those either just a checkerboard or those flat, like you could tell they're fake clouds. They were man-made. And
Right.
it comes rolling in, and that's where, the sore throats and all that start coming in. And yeah, they
Yeah,
spray pretty heavy over here as well.
they were playing out in the yard. Now that I think about that, I didn't even think about that until she said that. Huh.
But
Well,
it's
they're all
just,
better now.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a testimony on how Yahuah's natural remedies can heal us, even if it's man-made stuff, you know?
For sure. He knew what they were going to do. Everything when you walk outside, every single thing has a medicinal benefit. Even your grass. I know I don't use my grass really because, well, that's my dog's bathroom, so we'll just leave that there. But, you know what I mean? Like it's everything, all of your trees, the bark, that's where DMSO comes from. It's from the trees. It's a byproduct of when they're making paper. When they pull out all the, I guess the DMSO, the fluid in the, you know, so they make their paper. So, this is the component that it carries the nutrients from the dirt, you know, all the nutrients from the bottom of the tree all the way and shoots it all the way up to the tip of their branches. And it takes seconds. It's a super carrier. And, so, cause you know, like and it's a freezing point of like, I think it's 62 or 64 degrees. I forget. It solidifies. And, one day you won't, like coming out of winter, you won't have any buds. And then the next day, you know, you've got thousands of buds all through the tree. And that is your DMSO that is carrying, now it's warmed up enough and it carries the nutrients. And it works the same on us. It'll take seconds. Like you can put it full strength on your toes and you will taste it in your mouth 8 to 12 seconds later.
Yeah, I actually have some of that, and yeah, no, I've taken it and I felt the effects on it, and it's really amazing, actually. I
Yeah,
used to dilute it in water and drink it like that.
did you? Okay, so with with DMSO, you have to be careful with what it comes in contact with, because it'll grab it and it'll take it wherever you put it. So make sure you use glass, or there are plastics out there that they say are safe. I just stick to glass. No metal. Well, I guess I use my pipette's plastic. Well, just don't store it in plastic. I know that they ship it out in plastic, and you know, they say that it's the plastic they use is safe. Now just transfer it to a glass bottle if you buy it in bulk. Because we bought it in bulk. There's 6 of us here, plus the dogs.
Yeah.
So if you put, and this is how I explain it to you. 1, it's a mild muscle relaxer. And 2, for example, and if you were to take a medication, 1 pill, and then you took it with DMSO, it will up to doubling the effects of that. So it'll be like you took 2 of what you took 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It like enhances it.
True. Yes. But the same thing is if you were to spray it on your feet and you didn't let it dry, well, even if you did, you need to be careful, because if you go around walking barefoot and you step on something, I don't know, something with nasty bacteria or whatever, it will grab it and carry it through your system. So it's always important to make sure that you've got clean hands and wash, no soap residue kind of thing, you know. Be careful with, and here's the thing is we are a messy, chaotic house here. It is. So whenever the kids are we sprayed on their feet, they had to sit there for 10 minutes to make sure it was dry before they put their socks on or, you know, start walking around.
Yeah.
But DMSO is awesome like I had sciatic pain and years ago, and I put it from a reoccurring injury here, that I would spray it on my leg, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I would put my arnica butter over it, and it was like relief in minutes. And I did it for 3 days, and finally it was just gone. Because DMSO can go in and it will rebuild and regenerate cells, healthy cells, as well as it takes out, like it works, and this is where you want to add like your colloidal silver and other things, but it'll help flush out the damaged cells. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. The one I got, it came in a glass container and a little tube because it says, you're not supposed to store it in a light place.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
and it does, it really helps. It does wonders. And when I
It
was
smells like a,
eating,
what is it? Like a garlic, a sulfury garlic.
yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about that. So if you take it orally, yeah, I it is what it is. So, and I dilute mine to 50% with distilled water. I always use distilled water because distilled water has nothing; it's void, right? It is looking to absorb. So, I'll mix my DMSO with that in a glass bottle, and it'll actually the chemical reaction. It'll warm the bottle. It's pretty neat. But I took I was taking I was doing a parasite protocol, and I was taking DMSO. Let's see, I took 4 drops. Yeah, it was 4 drops every hour for 8 hours, and just drops, just 4 drops. And they could smell. They could smell. I smelled like a Italian restaurant. I was not. I'm not even kidding. I was like, really? Come on. So, like I can take a quarter teaspoon in the morning in orange juice, whatever, and I've got to take chlorophyll with it to counteract the smell. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So just let you know.
it's chlorophyll that counteracts that
Yeah.
garlicky.
Yeah. That garlic, you know,
Yeah.
garlic bread smell. I don't know what it is. I
Good
don't
to
smell
know.
it. Right. I don't smell it at all, but I went to an event at the Legion, and I was like, "Can you smell the garlic?" She's, "Yeah. What did you eat?" And I'm like, "No, man, nothing. I didn't eat anything. I mean, I wasn't." So yeah, so that was the running joke. But we can take chlorophyll, and then it takes away that smell because it's coming out your pores when you're
Yeah.
detoxing. And some people, it's just stronger and whatever. I don't know. Maybe whatever I've got. So
Good to
it's
know
pretty
you
neat
use
though.
it.
Right. I've got a recipe. We put it in the eye, in our eyes and in the puppy's eyes. Um, my 8-year-old puppy, she's starting to get that film, right? The cataract. Um, and we're 2 drops with, what's the word? What is it? Castor oil. And it's mixed. The DMSO is mixed with colloidal silver. And then we put the castor oil in after. And I mean, she can still see. So I mean, I don't know. I don't take her to the vet to look at it. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's good. I used the same thing though for floaters, and it wiped them out. Like it was. I mean, I want to say a day or two, but maybe I was just maybe it took longer. I don't know. I think I noticed a difference though in a day. So
Yeah,
it's
wow.
pretty.
Floaters
And I've
are
got the
parasites.
recipe. Yeah,
Awesome.
floaters are right. Yuck.
Yeah.
There's the recipe for it is in the eyeballs tab in the health channel.
The eyeball tab.
Yeah, the eyes. Yeah, I put the eyeballs.
Hey, it works out.
Right?
And, and actually, going back to what you said earlier, that I didn't know that, depression and things like that can cause heart problems.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, I mean, if we were to stay in depression, anxiety all the time, our stomach's affected, right? And so I started thinking, okay, so when my husband passed, they weren't going to grant us the death benefit because he did have an attack, but it wasn't during wartime. Actually, it was right after, where he stepped into and saved his sergeant. And they crushed in his skull. That wasn't going to get him a service connected death because it was his heart and not his head. And I'm like, hold on a second. So I know that I'd read different things about how trauma and depression and all that can hurt your heart, but I needed a doctor. I needed someone's stamp on a paper. And then I found this guy, and he was going through the PTSD that our veterans have, that it wears on all of your system. But when it's taking out your heart, like it weakens it, takes your energy, and things start malfunctioning. Yeah.
Now that makes sense. And yeah,
Another thing that you need to watch for, and just speaking of the heart, that who was I talking to? Oh, was it Yona? Right? Yona. We were just talking about, because he called yesterday. Bruce. I don't know him personally, but Bruce needs prayers. He's got some medical issues that are not good. But we just started. I was explaining to him about my husband and that, and a friend of ours that had passed 3 months after Wayne did. He had a heart attack, but the root of it, the coroner said, was in his mouth. That he had massive infection in his mouth, and it reached his heart. So and I was reading an article this was a while ago, that most of your heart patients have problems with their teeth. I had no idea. But yeah, so if you've got issues with your mouth and infection in that, make sure that you take care of that, because your heart is where it's going to head.
interesting. Yeah, I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I've heard like each tooth can be connected to like a different part of your body or organ and things like that as well.
Yes. I'm not well versed on all that, but I'm just paranoid now with teeth. So we got the colloidal silver, we got the salt water, because salt water will kill bacteria, right? I've got the kids and the only one out of my family that's having teeth issues is my son, the 14-year-old. I'm like,
Yeah. And actually, yeah, salt water, really good. I drink salt water every day.
yeah,
It helps put those the electrolytes naturally back into you versus
yep,
the Gatorade and stuff like that. That's actually really bad for you.
right. If you it's not a protocol from anyone. I just kind of came up with it on my own. I've got a jar of salt water sitting in the bathroom for the kids to pour some in a cup and to swish in their mouth. Before they actually brush. Oh, now we're getting into the brushing. Okay, so before I even go into that, you know how the dentist always told us that, you got to brush your teeth. Always brush your teeth. Teeth, teeth, teeth. And but people are still ending up with tooth decay and, the gum issues and all these things. Well, when I started looking into the parasite cleanses and that, and how parasites work and where they hide and all this, and that they're in your eyes and they're in your nose and all these different things, why aren't they in your mouth? How wouldn't that, with the foods that we're eating, we're breathing the air, the things we drink, all these things, I'm like, surely our mouth is plagued with parasites, right? Well, why are we only brushing our teeth? They came out with brushing your tongue, but my dentist never really pushed it. And they'll tell you to floss. And I am not a fan of the floss. I'll use a water pick, but on a gentle setting. Because here's the thing. In your mouth, you've got your little crevices between your cheek, your lip, your cheek, and your gums. And so you're brushing your teeth. But if you're not brushing your gums, even down to where they meet, your cheek, whatever, swishing, this is where mouthwash actually kind of comes into play. Brush your tongue, brush the inside of your gums, everywhere, the roof of your mouth. this is where the salt water comes in. If you don't brush and take care of your gums, it doesn't matter what you're doing with your teeth, because your roots are below, within the gums, right? So I started thinking that, we need to really, before we brush and start waking up all the parasites and that, why don't we just swish something and kill them? And the bacteria, their food, right? So I started the kids, and I'm trying to get the minerals in there too. I was like, let's just try a 2-for-1, and let's just take the salt water and let's just swish with that and spit. You can drink some more salt water later, but I wonder, let's just test it. And I know that my gums and 2 teeth that were starting cavity before, that's a long story, but it was from the inside of the tooth and not the outside. But it was starting to see, they wanted to, of course, drill and do all their stuff, and it's gone. It's gone. There's nothing. There was like, you get the gray, or, the discoloration on your teeth is gone. So swishing with the salt water, and then I rinse with water, not to leave any salt in there, whatever. And then I'll brush, and I brush my gums, and then the teeth are last that I brush. Because your teeth, that enamel's pretty smooth. And I know that there's discoloration that, but I'm really wondering if that discoloration comes from the food you eat a lot of times. But if you're not taking care of your gums and the root below, there could be another reason for the discoloration. And the breakdown and the cavities and the, all the things. So we do the salt water rinse, and we rinse with water after that. Then I use, I have a tooth powder, which I shared, and I've been using that for over a decade. But my kids still like the bubbles, right? So yes, we have a non-fluoride toothpaste that they will put on their toothbrush. Then they'll dip their toothbrush in their own tooth powder, and then they'll start brushing at the gum line. We all do, at the gum line and below, inside. Top, brush your gums, brush the top of your roof of your mouth, and then go through and do, finish your teeth, and rinse with water. And then for just a bump, anything that was, if you brush too hard, any cuts in your mouth, whatever, if the toothbrush isn't soft enough, that's when I'll take and we'll rinse with colloidal silver. Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a protocol. Well, because I'm tired of the dentist. I don't want to go to the dentist.
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody wants to.
Right. Well, so now I was at the dentist about 6 months ago. I thought that I felt, I don't know. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, that's actually interesting information I didn't really think about before. Yeah, the brushing, starting at your gum lines first. Very interesting. And Shalom, Sister Jermaine. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, my puppy, somebody pulled in
Yeah,
a mile away.
no worries.
Okay. So that's what we do with our teeth. And I think that, so I went to the dentist, and I thought that I felt this like, grit, which I'm kind of doofus sometimes. So don't bark, puppy. Hold on. I
No
love him.
worries.
So it was my tooth powder. It was because I didn't grind up the herbs as much as I needed to. So that's what I was hearing, which it's all good, but I was freaking out. They're my teeth. You only get them once, right? So he was asking me about one of my teeth looked better. Well, he didn't say better. He said different than what it showed on x-rays in the past. And I said, oh yeah, well, that's probably my tooth powder. And he says, oh, he's like, can I get that recipe? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And I said, and if I said to him, like, but if you make any money off of it, I get a cut. And
Right.
because he was really interested, and I even get calls like, listen, the dentist, Dr. Frank really wants to get a hold of the tooth powder recipe and that. So it's all over the net. You can find like remineralizing recipes. I just threw mine together. You're back. Um, I threw together a recipe of my own, just like a mixture of a couple different bloggers I was following. So it's not really expensive, but if you can find a clean clay that has silica, that will help you remineralize your teeth. And the new fad, you know how it's that hydroxy apatite or whatever it is,
Yeah.
that everything that you find out on the market is synthetic. If you want natural form of the hydroxy, you want to do calcium phosphate. So I use calcium carbonate in mine, and I'm testing out the calcium phosphate, because you have to get it, from a clean source. And, yeah, so I'm playing with it. But the recipe I have out there, I've got it as an optional ingredient in there if you want to try it.
Yeah, yeah, no. Is that in the health group at all?
Yeah, it's in your tab too
Oh,
as
awesome.
well. Yeah, and even if you like the coconut oil pulling, which is excellent, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a gag reflex. I cannot leave it. We had a challenge here, we and the kids, and I'm like, I want to see who can hold it in longest. And Laura May, my 12-year-old, was like 20 minutes. I'm like, awesome,
Wow.
do that every day, and her teeth are looking good. But there's something about the coconut oil, swishing it. I'm just not you should, but I'm not a
Yeah.
fan. Oh,
It has that
so when you know how
therapeutic.
they tell us to floss, right?
Yeah.
I take that string and gouge, do it in between your teeth and push it down in and all that. That's separating your gums from your teeth. That actual the
Wow.
flossing with yeah, it occurred to me not that long ago. I'm thinking because they say, well, you know what, you'll bleed at first. Yeah, because you're cutting off the tendons or whatever that are holding on to your teeth.
Yeah, yeah,
And
no wonder.
I don't know why it never dawned on me before. I mean, this is why they've got the settings for your water pick, and they'll have a super strong or whatever. Use the most gentle one. Anything that is stuck in there, the gentlest of pressure will get it out. And it's not that you can't use a toothpick or something to push food out, not to get all gross or whatever, but if you are swishing with the coconut oil in that, chances are, or the salt water or the colloidal silver, chances are you're going to pull that out and kill whatever you need to kill. I've got a friend that's never, ever, ever flossed, and her teeth are beautiful. I'm not, you guys still floss, do what you want, but it made me think, because then what do we run into when we get older? Receding gum line.
Yeah, that's true.
And, I was like, no, no, just a
No, it's
couple.
interesting because our teeth and our mouth is very important for our health as well. And
It's definitely
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
right. I didn't. I never even thought about it. I thought it was, brush teeth so they don't look funky when you go out.
Right? No, yeah, I
Right?
didn't even know about it or think about it until just recently, like just a few
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think, like, when they used, like, way back, they used branches off the tree,
Yeah,
and there's a couple different products out there, but the Mizwack, whatever, we have that. You just chew on the end of it, and then it turns into like a little round brush. And then you can do that and rub your teeth with it. I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. I mean, Yahuwah
Or you
provided
can
everything
use
we
the frankincense,
need.
which tastes like soap.
Yeah. Sue me.
Where did she go?
She
Oh,
was here. I don't know where she went. But yeah, that's funny though. I've
okay.
never tasted frankincense, but I can imagine it tastes like soap. Yeah.
Well, so there's a bunch of different ones. So after Sumi was doing, I have a bunch of, I had my already existing and I couldn't find my Serrata. So I got that. And I'm like, all right, guys, we popped it in our mouth and we're chewing. I'm like, oh, what? I don't, what? And so my daughter, Danica's she's chewing it. She's got it. Like, you can't get that off your teeth. I mean, you can, but it takes a minute. Like, she's had the soap taste all through, yeah, for a while. I was like, "I'll just pop them like a capsule then, because it's good for you."
Yeah, right. That way you
But like
avoid
I'm sorry,
oh, that way
you
you
avoid what?
avoid the soap
Yes,
taste.
right. And I've got the Carteri. Is it Carteri? I think frankincense. Now that is powdered. I have, and I put it in water. And it tastes like lemon. So
Interesting.
that didn't taste like soap. Yeah, I know. I thought it was interesting. I was like, how different it tastes. I wonder. I'm just kind of playing with it. I have a tinctures of the frankincense, but they turn. It's a resin, so it's a gum. So this is in the
Yeah.
beginning. I left it. I think I left it actually in a year. But anyway, um, and when I was straining it, it was like warm gum. Trying to get it um strained out of there. Like you press it. Well, when you do a tincture, you're trying to press all the water, and of course, I'm not even thinking. I'm like, it's a resin. There's probably nothing inside of it, and I'm pressing it, and it's sticking to the spoon. Oh my god! So the other ones I just left in. I'm not even straining them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so a quick question, Kim. For like for oral health, sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. I was trying to yawn and talk. But for tongue scraping, like when you wake up in the morning, is that something that you do? I do that because before I do anything to my mouth, you scrape because all of our teeth, like you said, are connected to an organ. And if you have any type of teeth decay or any issues, it's really important that you kind of also look at the what it's attached to. So if you're having, um, for example, gallbladder, anything, like all of our organs are attached. Pretty interesting. And wisdom teeth, and that's another big thing that they try to pull. But tongue scraping, it is all of your organs and all of your body's waste. It will accumulate, especially if you mouth tape, if you sleep properly and not like drool or anything like that. It'll be on your tongue until you scrape it off and your body's not reabsorbing that. Or do you just go straight into oil pulling? I've seen both methods.
We actually do. We do scrape. I've got scrapers for all the kids. It's like a
Mhm.
little rubber brush, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we tried. There's two of them. We had one was just had like some I don't know bridges, whatever, where it scraped. But then I found the it's like a I don't know silicone, whatever brush, like with really short bristles that they can run over. So they'll do that. Well, they're probably not even doing it, but yes, I do.
Yeah. I haven't seen one of those before. I have a copper one, but I haven't seen one with bristles. I need to look into that.
Oh, you have a copper one? Oh yeah, share
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, I'll share it.
Copper's so good for you.
Yeah, copper is really good for you.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that thing? I don't know. It was going around. I don't know if it still is. With copper, like you're not supposed to leave it in the copper vessel for more than I forget how many hours.
I've heard about that, but our sister Miranda and yeah, Jermaine apparently as well. You know, they leave it in their copper thing,
Yep. Okay,
and
cool.
then they'll
Yep.
pour it. They'll just dilute it in their own water and stuff like that.
So, yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm doing too. Actually, I've got a pitcher, and I'm thinking, oh, hold on. They used to store it in copper, so it was
Yeah,
it didn't make any
Water
sense.
pipes. Yeah, the water pipes here in the U.S. used to all be made of copper,
Right.
and they've slowly changed it all out to that new, plastic stuff, of
Right.
course, because the copper was good for us. They don't want that.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, it tastes. Oh, well, I dilute it though, because when I do the structured water, I'll throw the copper water into that. So I guess we're not drinking it straight.
Yeah, if you dilute it like that, I would think it should be fine. I believe that's
Right.
what Sister Miranda does. She's
Okay.
not here
That's
though. But
right. I was just curious because they were pushing the whole copper thing and all that, and then, well, they haven't been pushing it. It's been around forever. But then I seen the restriction on time. I'm like, really? Well, you better go back generations, let them know.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
no kidding.
that's the same. Yeah, that's the same with silver. They used to put the silver coins in their water bucket, in their water. Um, what is it? The water barrels.
Yeah, they're barrels. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And thank you for sharing that, Sister Faith. Awesome. I did not even know they had copper tongue scrapers like that.
I didn't either. Awesome.
Yeah, so it's doing a lot of great cleaning, but then you're also getting removing the film from your tongue, but you're also then getting the copper benefits as well because you scraped all of that off, and now your buds are open to get benefits from the copper. It's pretty cool.
Hey, you should share that in the health.
Yeah, I forwarded it to our health tab, but yeah, Kim has the whole group there. Putting in a lot of work there, Sister Kim.
It's a lot of fun. It's like what is it? It's like a dream for OCD. Like all for organization. Putting it all
Right?
is still
No,
mess.
no,
Much easier.
I have OCD like that as well. I like to organize things and stuff like that. So I feel you on that one.
Right. I need to put a tab in there for clean foods and so we can share the videos and that in there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
and these are because there's people that are in the old group that don't my dryer. Hold on. That they don't follow Torah, but they're still following the health channel. And I want to make sure that it's there that they run across to help them
Yeah, yeah.
along the way.
No, it's good. We're supposed to help our neighbors, and for sure they're our neighbors.
Right. So Jermaine, talk about that blue turmeric. That's the neatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, Shalom. Yeah, I've been growing it for about 10 years. We looked online about it, and it does say that it is 20 times better than orange turmeric. It's very pungent, very strong. It's classed as more medicinal than your regular culinary turmeric. Yeah. I'm not very fluent with being able to just rattle stuff off, but it's everything normal turmeric is, but greater. It doesn't turn your teeth blue. It doesn't turn your skin blue. It doesn't dye orange, like it doesn't dye blue like orange one dyes orange, if you know what I mean.
That's weird.
Well, that's very good.
I'm gonna have to try it.
So
I've
it's
never
like
ever heard of it.
yeah, me either. It's like a
Yeah,
super
it's
tumor.
classed as,
Right.
yeah, it's classed as rare. I just happened to be able to get a little bit off a man 10 years ago, and I've gone, oh, he goes, you take care of this. This is very rare. And I've gone, yeah, it is. I've never heard of it. And yeah, we plan to, yeah, we've got it growing everywhere. But it comes up like weeds. I don't know why it's classed as rare. That's because we obviously grow in the tropics. Everything grows like a weed, but yeah.
You should open up a little turmeric store there, sister.
I have been selling it online, and 1 year, I'm just on Marketplace, Facebook. Do you have Marketplace?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it costs to send to US.
oh, I don't think I can send it over to you, but locally, I made $10,000 in a few months just by selling the rhizomes to people for, it was $130 a kilo. I don't know what
2.2 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was selling it off to people.
that's awesome.
That was for the crowns. That's just for the crowns, not for the fingers. The fingers I was selling off for, I think it was like $70 a kilo. But yeah, $10,000 on my first run 1 year, and then it's just been decreasing every year. But that's just, a bit of fun on the side.
Wow.
But what I've been doing is making a really good salve with the comfrey with some frankincense oil and lavender. I'm going to be marketing that one, and I'm going to call it Heal Thy Salve. Heal Thy Salve.
Nice.
And a tincture. It's very good as a tincture for flus. Just knocks things over. Massage oil. Very good for massaging with. Yeah. So anyway,
So
no, sorry.
it has camphor or a menthol like scent when you crush it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's just really strong, super strong. Doesn't taste or smell like normal turmeric.
That's a plus. Well, so here it says helps relieve joint pain and inflammation, clears lungs and aids respiratory issues. Used for bruises, infections, swelling. Like what? That's
Wow. May have to invest in some of those seeds there.
I don't know that I
Get
can
them over here.
grow it here because, well, I don't know.
Well, it's not by seed; it's by rhizome.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like you just plant the root. It doesn't form. I don't think it forms a seed. You may be able to get one out of the flower eventually. It's just not something anyone really does. I don't know that much. Sorry.
No,
But even
definitely
so, I don't think we can send that sort of stuff over because of quarantine.
But
Hey,
the way, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It does snake bite treatment.
Handy.
Right.
But not the way it grows is similar to the way a lot of things grow out here in Arizona. Like the cactuses especially, like they don't really have seeds. They just grow through the root, and then another one will pop up from that same root on down the line. And same with a lot of the aloe plants.
Yeah.
and so many things. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
This is the neatest thing to look at. I was looking at all the images. I'd never,
So now that I've stopped, well, in about a month when my ingredients run out, I'll be stopping the dessert business and just trying to just sell that, because I've been growing it for years and years and not really doing too much with it because I've been so busy in the kitchen. And so I've closed, so with the council, I've closed the kitchen, as in the license. So I'm not going to be creating anything that anyone can eat. I have to do things more health-wise, like salves and balms and oils and things like that.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. On it. I think you found the right place for that too, is here with all of us, A lot of us have a lot of good information about that. All praise to the Most High. And, since we're on the subject of health and wellness and exercise, for the last, it's been 3 weeks now, I've been starting to work out again, doing hikes. And, I feel much better. I can start seeing, the muscle tone coming back and all these things. I have a lot more energy. And, I used to go hiking a lot, like probably about 10 years ago or so. And we would hike all over the mountain right here. And it's been so long since I did that. My first hike a few weeks ago, it was killer. Like I was like, man, I didn't realize how out of shape I had gotten. And so me and Callan have been doing these hikes and stuff, and we can make it to the top now without stopping, and it gets easier each time. And it goes with the exercise, and then eating right and taking care of our temples, because our bodies are the temple for Yahuah. And so the better we can take care of them and stay away from the pharmakia and as much as possible, eat right, eat healthy, don't eat all the nonsense that they say is good for you, but it's really not. It's just very important. And actually right there I shared the verse for it, but it's Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 38 verses 2 through 4. I'll just read it real quick. It says, "For all healing is from Yahuah, and he shall receive gifts of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of a great man he shall be praised. The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth, and a wise man will not abhor them." And we have that, and then in Enoch it speaks about the book Noah had of herbs, all the herbs and things like that. Even in Genesis right there, he says, the seed-bearing herbs are going to be for our benefit.
I find it really interesting, a lot of the zones that everybody lives in, like where you live, Jeremy, it's really dry. It's like a lot of things that can kind of like stab you, scorpions and all that. But at the same time, every region has usually the same amount of plants that you can that you need to combat where you live. So if you got cut or something like that, you have like a lot of aloe because it's really dry, more rough, and so like where you have poison ivy growing, you usually have very close by is the antidote, if you will. It's really interesting that Yahuah, he didn't leave you like, I have to go order this. It's usually where you live, if you know how to look for it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
absolutely
every
right.
area.
Yeah, that's a good point. And
I just want to see
and
the blue myself.
and even like honey from bees, if you get it naturally from where you're at, it's gonna have the things you need to better like heal yourself or things like that. Versus if you get it just the super processed stuff in the store, it's not gonna really do anything. Completely different, you know.
I'm looking forward to that. We've got bees that are ready to rob their hives to get the honey. This is brand new to us, so I'm a little bit nervous. But yeah, I did hear that local honey is better for you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's awesome actually, sister, because I was wanting to do the same, honestly. Just start a beehive. That way we can get our own local honey and things like that. And it's easier than you think, actually, especially once you get used to it. That's really awesome though. And then
My neighbors have hives, but some predator, I took a picture of it. I'll have to find it and post it. It was huge. That it goes in and invades the hives at night. This big, huge moth looking, he's big, really big. First I thought it was like a cicada or something, but we looked it up. And my neighbors, 2 years now, they bought a hive. I mean, they had the hive, but they all the bees were gone. And then the same, yeah, the second one, same thing.
oh
It's really
no.
That's
crazy.
probably because they swarmed. They might have got too many started growing up. They've created a new queen, and they've taken off because the hives got full.
It's a bummer.
Interesting.
I used to make syrups that, I put all the herbs, and I was using at the time vegetable glycerin, um, and then I would send them, but they were strong, so I'd have them put in their own local honey because me sending them my honey that I can get from my local farmers here may not be what they need, kind of thing. So it's
Yeah, that as well.
The other thing about I was just going to say the other thing about keeping bees though is they want you to register. You know how they want people to register their livestock? They also make you register your bees so that when some bee problem comes through, they can come and eradicate your bees. So anyway, we didn't register our goats. We haven't registered our bees. No one, yeah, no, thank you. They're our bees, not your bees.
Yeah,
exactly
precisely.
registering bee. So if one shows
Yeah.
up and makes a hive on your property, what do you do? Are you fined?
Yeah, right. No, they're wild. Just
Yeah,
say they're wild bees.
the goats just came one day and they wanted to stay, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild how they try to do that. And even here in the US, they're trying to make us register, chickens and things like that as well. And I know
I
at
think
least
they're
here in
talking
Arizona,
registering
we
our
don't.
animals, huh?
Oh, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. There's a time
No.
delay. They talking about registering your vegetable garden as well. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. They
It's
talked about
coming?
doing that. I don't think it's coming. It was talked about. I haven't seen anything else about it, but there's no
Okay.
way I would do that at all.
Crazy.
Like there's no way. You don't have to know what I'm growing on my property. Like Get out of here.
So here's the
Exactly.
thing with our taxes. Like if you're declared a homestead, you go on a list because they just figure that you're gardening, you're using your home to feed animals or raise animals or garden or whatever. And there's a huge tax break with that, which thinking now we have that. So I made the
Yeah, yeah.
list.
Awesome.
Right.
And actually gardening is really good as well, growing your own. And I don't know if you guys know Nathan Reynolds, but he has a little it's called permaculture. It's a little permaculture series. And it basically teaches you how to plant for like a permanent food forest that will grow. And so you basically plant, you know, the vegetables, the fruits, the things like that, and then all the herbs and things like that. And there's other plants that you plant in there that are beneficial to all the plants around it. And it's basically this whole, cycle of all these plants helping each other, growing, getting each other to grow better because some plants give off some things and others give off others. And, certain plants need certain things. I'm probably not explaining it in the best way,
We
but
we call that companion planting.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like so,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So Perrier, is that the guy that? Well, I'm gonna butcher this. I've been watching this guy that he'll just go around his yard, plant something, and then he'll find something else that he knows will benefit that, and then he'll stick that there, and he sticks something else there. Next thing you know, he's got like a forest of a garden. I
Yeah,
don't know if
I've
that's the
seen that.
same guy.
It's not the same guy, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's actually quite a few channels on YouTube about it as well. And
See,
just talking about growing your own food forest they is what I know it's referred to as. But yeah, companion planting, things like that.
Yeah,
It's all. Oh, go ahead, sister.
I think the permaculture, you were saying it right, but that sounded a bit more like the companion planting. But the permaculture is more like using the land to sustain the livestock and the plants, and using the land in the way that it's structured to hold the water here, and you know, um, oh, it's all in my head, but not on my tongue. um, yeah, like the mulching.
cycles. I mean, like so one's feeding the other, that's feeding the other, that's like that.
Yeah,
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 so some things need shade, so you'll have the right setting for that, and some things need more sun, and one needs to grow near the pond, and um, if you have chickens and all that sort of thing, it kind of all complements each other. Like everything is usable. All the like permaculture is like using the manures as well for feeding the plants, and chopping down some of the plants to feed other plants, and mulch and keep the weeds down. Like it's all just a whole big cycle. Everything is like a big cycle to make everything work in a fashion.
yeah, yeah. The one I saw, they had goats, but you can do it really with any kind of livestock. And the whole
Oh yeah,
permaculture and the plants all helping everything, and everything
yeah.
just helps each other. That's the way Yahuwah designed it, honestly.
I can tell you, out of all the animal manure that we've ever used for gardening, goat manure is the bomb. Once you use goat manure on things, it's just everything just flies away. We just gobsmacked.
Yeah,
So
and
good.
they have a way of eating everything and turning it into something beneficial.
Generally, yeah, yeah.
Oh, awesome, Sister Faith. Yeah, even you know, the recipes tab and stuff, you know, if you guys have recipes, feel free to share, especially about you know, foods and things like that. But yeah, you know,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
permaculture, all that, it's all really helpful. And you can also include, like, if you have a pond, you can include the fish in there as well. And then that way you also have a variety of fish you can eat as well.
Yeah, that's aquaculture.
Yeah, yeah. I've looked into doing that as well. The aquaculture, the permaculture, just doing it all in one.
That's where you plant above the fish.
Yeah, yeah. And like the roots go into the water, but it's all
Yeah,
beneficial. Like the plants
yeah.
take what they need out of the water, and in turn it cleans the water, and then it just, yeah, the whole permaculture cycle just aquatic. We actually started doing that a few years ago. Me and Callan, we got a fish tank and we started growing. We got a little, I got these little holders and I put little plant pots in them to where the roots can go down into the water. And this one plant, it grew gigantic and it took over everything. But you know, it made the water really clean and the fish like loved it. And it was just a little home fish, like nothing that we're gonna eat or anything, but it was just a little test basically to see if what I was seeing was true. And yeah, it absolutely is true. You can grow all kinds of stuff that way, and it's really good. I think it was a snake plant I did it with, and it went wild. Like it wouldn't stop growing. I'd have to trim it like every week.
So, I don't grow a lot of stuff, but um, for like our backyard garden, whenever I start one again, I know like what the rules are, like for trees and for stuff like that. But if you're growing things, let's say cucumbers or whatever, are we supposed to leave that first crop of that for those items specifically? Or is that more so to like vineyards, trees, like already established things? Or is that for all crops across the board?
Um,
Faith, I would say that's mainly for trees that um, can grow for years and years and years, whereas a cucumber vine is just for a few months. Um, yeah, mainly the fruit with the seed on a tree, because it does say tree.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, cucumbers don't live long. Your main vegetables don't live long.
yeah. They'll only last like a season or so, and then they die off. So yeah, I do believe that's about the trees as well, like the fruit of the trees. Yeah, no problem, sister. But yeah, you know, I kind of have a green thumb as well. I remember a few years ago, I was growing some watermelons, and one was straight up 20 pounds. We weighed it on the scale and everything. I was like, wow, that's the biggest one I've ever seen. It weighed 20 pounds. It was wild. And yeah, we've grown cucumbers, peppers, carrots, potatoes, all kinds of stuff. We've got an olive tree actually. It's mission olives, and they're actually really good olives. They're those green ones actually. But it grows really good here in the desert. You know, growing your own and raising your own, things like that is far more beneficial than going to any store. And especially, with the natural herbs and things like that, for the remedies, everything that Yahuwah provided, he provides for us, and it's all there.
I had the worst time gardening this year. I don't know what. I never had so much trouble. Well, the part is the puppy. Things were so slow to take off, and then they just I don't know, it was really goofy.
No, I had that same experience this last year trying to grow things very slow, or they wouldn't grow, things like that. And I'm just like, what's going on here? But again, I start thinking, I'm like, well, that's probably what they're spraying.
Yeah, ours has been the same, but I just haven't had the chance to get out there a lot and really tend to the garden. I mean, some things have been good, but more often than not, some things have been bad. So I don't know what's going on. Perhaps it's the sprays.
Yeah, because I've noticed a lot of people are experiencing that same thing. And what they spray up there is definitely not good for us or the plants. Really not for anything.
Can I just say something back regarding the DMSO? I also take it internally, and I heard Kim saying that people could smell it. I haven't been taking it with the chlorophyll, but I went to a store that I normally go to, and the lady said, "Oh, you've been using DMSO?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, yeah, I can smell it." And I said, I haven't been." Oh, she goes, "Where have you been putting it?" Because I have had a neck problem, a nerve root problem, and I've been taking it internally. I've been drinking a teaspoon worth in a glass of water twice a day, and it's really, really helped with pain and inflammation like nothing else. Better than blue turmeric. Anyway, I said, "Yeah, I've been drinking." She's like, "What? You've been drinking it? I don't think you're supposed to drink it." I said, "Yeah, you are." So yeah, she can smell
Well, if you get some chlorophyll capsules, that's what we got. Because we've seen it. I'm like, all right, let's try it. So far, no complaints, but that's awesome.
Do you have to take it at the same time as having the DMSO or afterwards, or what's the protocol
I just took I'll drink the DMSO and I'll just pop it with it. I didn't even think about that. Well, I figured we just
there?
cut the odor off at the pass.
Okay, because I only have the chlorophyll actually in a powder. I don't have it like a tab. I can make a capsule because I have a capsule maker. I suppose I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I do make
And I
blue
don't know
turmeric.
how much.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying about turmeric?
Oh, so with the blue turmeric, we dehydrate it and grind it down to a powder and put some ground black pepper with it. Also with some dehydrated or dried coconut oil, and make capsules like that. And when I do have them on hand regularly, my husband, he runs around the block. He's pretty energized and feeling great. And then when we run out, and he's like, "Please make some more of those capsules." So yeah, it's been good for us in that way. He does definitely notice the difference.
That's awesome. I do something very similar actually. I've got it's got the turmeric, it's got the coconut. I don't know, it's dehydrated coconut oil and then the pepper. And there's two other things in there. There's a golden milk that we use with the orange turmeric. And I just took all the powdered sources of that, mixed them all together, and made capsules for my husband. So yeah, I still have that.
Have you
Yeah,
heard
you know
of
that the what?
Have you heard of golden paste?
Yes.
From Doug English, that guy.
No, I don't know. You'd have to see him. But
Oh,
golden paste, yeah, with turmeric.
the turmeric golden paste. So yeah, we make that as well. It's, apparently it takes can take away cancer, all kinds of inflammation and things like that. They say that mainly for animals, but obviously it helps people as well. Horses. He's a horse veterinarian or something, and he created this recipe out of so turmeric, water, coconut oil, and you specifically make it just like so, like this amount of ingredients, this temperature, stirring it for this amount of time, and then you put your pepper in just in the last minute, and it turns into a paste that you put in the fridge and just give it to your dogs or your horse or whatever, and yeah, it heals a lot of things. So I might
Oh,
actually
we should take that too.
link the I'll link the website and everyone can have a look at the testimonials. And I think there's a Facebook page. It's just called Turmeric Life. And so I make it, but I also add the blue as well. It won't just be the orange. But yeah.
Yeah, we should be taking that too. Put them in little molds and put them in your freezer or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once they're
That's what
solidified, then you can just pop them into, another container, whatever bag, whatever you can do. And then
yeah.
keep them in your freezer for long term.
That's a good idea. And
It's all
I
about
don't know.
longevity.
Yeah. And I've heard another thing that helps with cancer is called soursop or guanabana.
Yep. Yep.
And the fruit, it looks like a spiky ball, but it
Yes.
tastes similar to a banana. And I
The
actually
tea's
got,
really good.
yeah, the tea's really good. You can eat the fruit, whatever, it's all good for you. And it's supposedly, people have been remedied of cancer and things like that just from, the soursop or guanabana. It goes by both of those names, but yeah.
So I have a story that goes with that, unfortunately. Um, so earlier this year, a friend of mine, she lives in Georgia, and so she's like, "You got to get this soursop." I'm like, "I already got it. I haven't used it yet because that's why I got it for cancer." And because we didn't know what we were dealing with Wayne. Well, she's like, "Well, try the tea and let me know how it tastes." So I did, but I made like 32 ounces of it, and I put it in the fridge. It was so good, and very little honey. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So I drank that 32 ounces throughout the day, which was okay. Except the next day I did another 30, like I put it in the fridge and I'm sipping on it through the day, 32 ounces. That, yeah, if you're not ill, you don't need that much. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it tastes really good though.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah.
It's like similar to a banana, but it's not.
Yeah, I can't explain the taste. It's got like a cool, I don't know, you can't explain it. Like a
It tastes
mellow.
good.
I don't know, it's really good.
It is good. It's like
Tangy.
how yeah, tangy, exactly. Pretty
I
good.
made a fruit salad. I made a fruit salad yesterday and put half a soursop in there with it as well. I like using those things in our fruit salads. It makes it all sloppy, but it's very tasty.
Yeah, bam. You're
Along
already
along
on.
with the mulberries, mangoes.
Yeah. We actually have a lot of mulberry trees around here in Arizona. Interesting enough. I think they came with the settlers and they just planted them all around here. And all the older neighborhoods, especially, they have a lot of mulberry trees, and it's awesome. Oranges, all kinds of citrus grow really good out here. They used to have a lot of orange groves out here and lemon groves, but because of all the housing developments now, and they're just cramming people in everywhere, most of those groves are now gone. Actually, most of the farms out here have been replaced with, you know, track homes and developments and things like that. And all the more reason for me to get out of here. Yeah, there's just so many, natural remedies that they have synthesized and put a price tag on it.
And they've shared with us so many lies on what you should be taking, like
Yeah,
that vitamin D. You shouldn't be taking that. Get out in the sun, but they're blocking that, so people are looking. So you need to look for your foods for that, right? But you have to, like, if you were to do a D3, which is what you should be taking, you have to take that with a K2, right? But still, it's all crap. It's just it's a mess. It is a mess. What was the other
they
one?
take
Like all the different, huh?
they take out like the beneficial things in the food and then they put it in these vitamin pills that they want you to take because it's been removed from the food, but then it's all synthesized anyway. So it's not even really what they say it is.
Yes, I agree. It's just I'm done. They can come. I'm ready.
I know, right?
So sad. See, okay, so now I wanted to ask. I know I think I might have asked. I don't know who I asked. So chlorella and spirulina are algae. Are they considered clean?
I I believe so because they're a plant.
Well, there's no root system to them, and they don't. I don't know. I don't because I was researching it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that necessarily.
That's a good question.
I don't see anything in scripture about it, but it doesn't. It doesn't specifically.
Yeah.
It's got chlorophyll. Does that mean?
Yeah, Jermaine says there's a big debate about it. Interesting.
Oh yeah, because they are power packed with nutrients, and I'm so bummed because that's a really good, like when you do your parasite cleanses, and that is really good to you eat your meal, then 20 minutes to 30 minutes later you take your parasite, whatever you're doing, tea, capsule, whatever the heck, and then 30 minutes later you take like 5 to 10 chlorella to bind and take them out, and you can do that along with drinking like a bentonite clay mix or a diatomaceous earth mix to help with whatever any other heavy metals and so on and so forth. So there's a process for our eating, right? I don't know if that's how they did it, but today, you know, um, but chlorella was the go-to. I've got a stockpile. Like my husband was a prepper, and he's like, we're gonna have a house full should things go down. So after he passed, I'm like, well, we're down one, but you know what? So now I'm like my local people here. I know my neighbors are going to come to my house because they know that I have the medicine, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to have the food. It's like, well, we'll just be prepared. And I'm like, you know what? And if for whatever reason, if we end up being protected and moved and whatever, all this is here for someone else to take over the house and they can be set. It is what it is.
Yeah,
So
I'll praise the Most High. Yeah, when I go
yeah.
visit Marissa there in March, I'll have to come and swing by visit you too, sister.
Yeah, come see our horde. You'll see. It is not. I am not a hoarder. It's just kid
No, I know.
chaos with puppy. Yeah, we're getting another puppy on Monday.
Yeah, so I heard.
Rescuing a puppy. Yes, baby. Another little German Shepherd.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
It sounds like fun, but we'll see. She's
Until
beautiful, and I
until
know
it
that.
comes off.
Right, Sarge needs a playmate because Fiona's too old. She's 8, and she don't want nothing to do with it. She just wants to be the mom. I'm like, all right, we'll get another puppy. And Danica's looking for. What about this one? We've gone through like hundreds and hundreds of puppies, and I really don't know that I want one. And then I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just get it. We're already feeding the raw. What's one more, right? Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. But we got the yard, and Sarge is just chewing everything up. He needs somebody else to play with.
Yeah, it's always good to have a companion.
Yeah. And then Kiona can be the mom. And yeah, take care of her, I guess. It'll be interesting.
Right?
So, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about?
Yeah, I know there's not too many here, and I know a lot of people were busy today, but
Right.
yeah, if anybody has questions or anything they'd like to add.
How long have you guys been talking for? Because I woke up at 5:30 and you guys were talking. I don't know how long you were going prior to that.
Let's see, we're hour and 36 minutes so far, so not too long.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to do one, schedule it at maybe like a later time when others can join as well.
Right. We can be ready over here and, pretty quickly. So, if it's an impromptu,
Yeah.
you hear the screeching in the background?
I don't hear screeching, no.
Oh, no. It's like
No.
Wild Kingdom.
There's a lot of birds over here where I'm at, so
No, I don't hear
I don't
them.
know if
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I'm actually looking at a little hummingbird right now. He's feeding on the aloe vera flowers.
Oh,
Pretty cool. But yeah, no, we can do this again at a time where more people are able to join as well. I know Marissa wanted to join, but she's working, and there's others who wanted to join that are probably working as well because tomorrow's the Sabbath. So
right. Yes.
It's our Sabbath today. So I do have a question. Kim, I get fluid retention. Do you know anything other than, they say I'll take dandelion tea.
Dandelion leaf, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't do that. I think it's because mainly when I'm on my feet a lot in the kitchen, it's worse then. Where by midday I can't sort of squat down, otherwise my legs are just really tight. The doctor told me it's because I've had a build-up of stress and in the kitchen. If I walk around and do gardening all day, I'm fine. I don't get fluid retention. It's just that standing in the kitchen doing things and not being mobile. But
Right.
yeah, I do take kidney tonic supplements that kind of help. But I just thought maybe you might know a bit more about fluid retention.
So you there's nothing wrong with your kidneys?
No, I got tests done. Kidneys are good.
Faith, what's mangista? What is that? Mangista?
It's also, I think some people call it like, man, what is its name? red Indian madder root. I'm forgetting the other name. A lot of plants, depending on the region, have so many names. Yeah, give Mama just a second. But it helps to drain the lymphatic system. It puts back a lot of antioxidants, but that's something that I took because I had a bad case of lymphadenitis. It's something I took during pregnancy, and I didn't have swollen anything. But it's a very good drainer for your whole body. But it also puts back a lot of minerals as well. It can help for muscle relaxant. It helps with mood. So I mean, it does a lot.
Oh my goodness,
And
it does.
yeah, so I love taking it.
It detoxes the liver, cleanses the lymphatic, relieves pain and rheumatism, and even for emotional problems like stress and anxiety. So everyone should do
I've been
this,
doubling on that. I've been taking a
right?
lot of that in St. John's wort, but yeah, it's really good for
It cleanses the
moving
blood.
stagnant like stagnant fluid that's just building up. But also I'm pretty sure you do like dry brushing, lymphatic brushing. I don't do the brush, I do the wooden rollers. But that actually helps. You can really move the excess fluid and get it into your correct lymphs, and your body will drain as well. That's something you can do manually. And then sauna helps a great deal.
I did actually just recently buy some gloves. They're like mitts, and they're for trying to drain the lymphatic system, but you just try to do it twice a day as like a routine. I've started taking some lymphatic drainage drops. I'm not seeing any difference. I did actually have a sauna, but sold it a couple of years ago. But it didn't change anything. The doctor said my veins are broken. My veins are broken. Oh, great. Well, how do I not break them? Like, how do I heal them?
How do I not break them?
Yeah, I don't know. I just need to be more mobile. That's my issue, because it's fine if I'm mobile. So that's another good reason why I need to just get out of that kitchen and get back to the garden. Yeah, doing that job did ruin a few things, even my relationship with my daughter. So that's another sad thing. Yeah, thank you. The drainage mitts. Yeah, I've just started that last week. But it hasn't done anything as yet.
Yeah, what was the name again of that? Was it a plant? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a root. Mangista, Manjistha. I'm reading about the cancer. It says lab tests indicate that it may be effective against, let's see, ovarian and uterine cancer cells, including liver, breast, and colon. And the herb also demonstrated anti-tumor effects against histolytic lymphoma and myeloid leukemia. Wow. They've
Wow.
got, yeah, I'm going to share this in the chat. There is a hand lotion recipe. Oh, it says you've got the mangista powder, 1 egg, tablespoon of good quality organic honey, 1 tablespoon of aloe vera gel, and 30 grams of almond powder, right? For a hand lotion. Is that weird?
Oh,
Maybe rubbing
interesting.
an egg.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's more like
hold still. Let me crack that egg over there.
right? It's more like a recipe for bread or something.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought that I read wrong. But no, yeah, hand lotion recipe. And then you store it in the fridge, and you can use it once a day for up to 7 days. That's specific.
Correct.
Once a day. It boosts the immune system. Wow. Rheumatism and muscle pain. Detox. It helps to cleanse the blood, detox the body. Let's see.
Well,
This is
thank you for
really
bringing that up,
interesting.
Mr. Faith. Awesome.
Yeah. Kidney stones.
You're welcome. I guess when she said that, I'm like, I know how to do that. And it's like you will start really going to the bathroom and you'll see, honestly, within a few hours, depending on how you take it, if you can tincture it. I open capsules and take it. It's disgusting, but it's effective. In a few hours, you're really seeing fluid move. And then combining it with like manual lymph stimulation, it will like give you like very good relief very quickly.
And yeah, to add to that, because you were saying you're just stagnant, stuck in the kitchen all the time, like me, I have to be moving constantly because I feel the same kind of way if I'm just sitting there. So actually going on these hikes and things has really been helping me, and I can definitely feel the difference. So maybe like a hike through the rainforest or something there. I'd do it.
It's actually something that I used to do. It's hard to do of an afternoon after the kitchen work because I'm already swollen. But 2 years ago, we had a pretty bad cyclone which pulled down a lot of trees on the major walking track up into the mountain, the rainforest. But anyway, my son and I are going to start going on these walks again now because they've finally, after 2 years, fixed the road. So I'm excited to get back on the track. It does help when you move.
Make sure to take pictures of all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Faith, do they call this madder root? Madder? Pure Indian madder root. That sound familiar? Okay.
It sounded similar to what you mentioned
Right.
there.
Matches. Well, I'm just going through an explanation of one of these products that got on Amazon, seeing how readily available it was. But yeah, they called it, it's Mangista Supreme, 100% pure Indian madder root. And then it's got the Rubia cordifolia. That's Latin.
Yep.
Interesting.
Goes back to what we were talking about before, that Latin language, that
Right.
spell casting stuff.
Right. Yeah, right.
Thanks for mentioning that, Faith. I'm really excited to give it a go.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Sister Faith. Very important stuff for sure. But yeah, maybe we'll have to schedule it up for a better time where everybody else will be able to join as well. Or maybe we can talk about it on our Sabbath fellowship too. You
Oh,
know?
right. Yeah. Can you do polls in here where everyone votes for a time or whatever, like you did your,
Yeah, you can. I've done them before. I just have to remember
or
how to
just
do it again.
right, or just ask anyone?
Yeah. I know there's a way to do it. I'll have to look it up and see how to do it again. 'Cause that's what we did for Sukkot actually, or what was going to be our Sukkot, but so yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up. I'll do a poll and we can do a time. And I think so. Tomorrow for Shabbat, I still have to double check with Sister Natalie, but she should be giving a presentation on all the slides she shared about the calendar and everything, just to help give a better understanding for all the new people that have joined up, especially recently. It's been amazing, the growth here, and all praise to the Most High, just coming together for His truth.
Praise, yeah. That's good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Um, where did we, was it Natalie that shared the link on her Instagram?
Yeah, it was Natalie. Yeah. She shared it, and then, yeah, we've had a lot of
I shared
very,
it individually with people and
yeah,
then in my other channel.
that's what I've been doing individually, because if I put it on like my YouTube channel or something, then any old person can come join in. So like I don't put it on my YouTube for that reason, but I do say if you're interested in joining, send me an email, and I put my email there. So yeah, if
Yeah,
anybody's listening and they're interested in joining, feel free to send me an email. No problem. But
gotta be
yeah,
careful who we let in here, right?
yeah.
It could
No, there was,
escalate real quick.
oh, it can. It did one time before as well, and luckily Sister Germaine, she was on top of it. She wasn't an admin yet at that time, so she was like messaging like, "Hey, hey, hey, hey," and then I checked the chat, and yeah, it was one of those probably some bot sharing, links to websites that shouldn't be spoken about. And so I got rid of that quick. And
I
then
was not.
yeah. And just as I went to the other group to go remove that person, they had shared them. So right as I get in there, they're sharing the links. I deleted them, removed them from the group just as they were being shared. So yeah, we don't want people like that coming in. I don't even know how they got in, honestly. Like there must have been someone who had the link and they got hacked, or I don't know. But yeah, we don't need none of that. That's why I really don't put it on just the public page on my YouTube channel. I don't really do it on my Facebook either, because I know a lot of people on Facebook, so but I'm more than willing to share it privately. Absolutely.
I did share it over on my old channel, faith channel that we had. Um,
Yeah, no
I
problem.
most everybody off because once we went to Torah, it was like it was nothing but arguments and whatever. I'm like, I'm not arguing with you, and we cleared house. I think we went from 187 people to I think we have 22. Like they
Wow.
scattered. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
amazing how, the Christians run when you talk about Torah. It's just like, oh, wow. You know, it becomes so divisive, and they're like, oh, you putting yourself back in sin and things like that. And it's just like, you have no idea.
I know. That's what I never understood. I'm like, what do you mean? How? What? Don't you? I don't know. And a lot of these people were conspiracy, theory people. Like they were minded. I'm like, okay, now you just need to take it one step further because
Exactly.
all of your research is going to point you right to scripture, and then you need to start digging into scripture. And when you do, whatever everyone else is doing, walk the other way. It's
Exactly.
just
Actually, that's how I started too. Was these conspiracy theories, and then
yeah,
I saw how it all connected back to Yahuah, and I was like, wow, that's it.
yeah, blown away. And he let me, like, Yahuwah left me because that was right after Wayne passed. I did it for about 3 years. I thought I was in this longer. It seems like it's been a long time, but we were only in our 3rd year, not our 4th. And because I was going through the health chat, and when we shared the name video was shared in the health chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was only then? Wow. So after that, the wheels fell off and everyone ran. And I was like, okay, that's all right. Not everyone can be set apart.
All right. You
I
gotta
mean, I
think
guess. I mean, it's.
you gotta
I'm sorry.
think, remember as well, that the enemy flees at his name. So
Oh, you guys want to hear something really crazy? Well, my son's not in the room.
sure.
So my 14-year-old that, and I'm kind of whispering, my 14-year-old that is dealing with puberty and autism and, whatever, dad's not here and all the things. So with all of the demonic stuff that was being discussed in that, I pulled out our warfare prayer that really, it came from Ron at Truth Unedited. I kind of doctored it up a little bit, changed some things because didn't read great. Puppy dogs. So he was having an episode of whatever was going on, anger and everything this morning. I'm telling you, I read it. It's like 4 pages long. I read that and I held him, and he said he had such a pressure in his head. And by the time I was finishing up, he was no more headache. And he was like a different kid. It wasn't like a vomiting kind of, whatever thing, flailing on the ground, but he was bawling his eyes out and angry and didn't know why. I mean, he couldn't get something password to work, because he was going to go watch the Ezekiel study. And I'm telling you, I've been dealing with this for the past, I don't know, probably month or so, where whenever Shabbat hits, he gets really ornery. And I just looked at him one day and I was like, you sure you don't have the demons in there that are really irritated with Shabbat? And he's like, no, why? Well, I think so. Because when I was praying, I was commanding this and commanding that and doing whatever, and he was just bawling. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of went limp and hugged me, and that was this morning. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Crazy? Oh, yes, it was. I never. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes they can be affecting us without us even realizing or knowing it. And, it does take that strong rebuke. And of course, with all the help from Yahuah as well.
Oh,
But
right.
yeah, that
I
that's
was
actually a good.
angry. I mean, not at my son. I mean, I was irritated by his behaviors and that, but I knew it wasn't him. As soon as I'm looking at him, I was hot. I'm reading this and I'm, Yahuah this and Yahusha this and covered by the blood. I mean, everything. You have to read it. I posted it in I think that one of the tabs, but it was
Is it
pretty powerful.
yeah, no,
And,
prayer is very powerful. And is it in the prayer tab that you put it in?
um, I'll find
Or
it.
no worries. No rush. But
It
yeah,
was
prayer.
one of the deliverance and healing, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I guess
not
you could
not
just
many
type.
realize the importance of deliverance and healing as well. And it all connects together actually, with the health and all these things, really it all connects back to being a matter of the heart, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not in there. Well, I don't know where it is. I don't know. Oh, here we go. It is. I'm going to just forward the thing to
Yeah,
your
thank you.
name.
On top of it.
Oh, wait, not that one. Oh, yeah, maybe that one.
Oh yeah. No,
No,
yeah, that one.
not this one.
Is-
I mean, that's
oh,
a prayer, but that's not the one I'm looking for. This telegram gets me sometimes.
yeah, no worries. It gets me too.
It was, right? It was under prayer and fasting. And here, this is the, oh, of course, now it's going to do it again. So I can delete this one. Sorry, there you go. So it's the warfare prayer. Yes, it's the warfare prayer for increase. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good one to have. Not many realize the importance of, you know, rebuking these things because, we can have these unclean ruach affecting us and not even know it. Not that we're, not that they're entering our bodies and things, but they can influence us by whispering into our ears. Or that's sometimes why we get those thoughts, like negative thoughts and things like that. It's because they're whispering into our ear. Or even if you're thinking of something like, say, like if you're a woman and you're like, oh, I need some eyeliner or something, and then all of a sudden you see an ad for eyeliner. Well, that's because that
Oh, right.
that
Yeah.
was just an unclean ruach that whispered that into your mind, and then there you go, because he's the principality of the air. Not
Oh,
that he,
right.
not that he can read minds. It's what his minions are whispering to us, and then boom, there it is. Because he wants to act like the Most High, so he's going to act like he can read our minds and fool people into thinking that, well, only Yahuah can read our minds, and only Yahuah knows our hearts. They can only do their little influences and things like that.
So this kind of goes along the lines of the predictive programming thing. Whisper something into your ear and then show you what, and then you're thinking it, and then they give you the.
Exactly. That's exactly where predictive programming. That's exactly where it came from, honestly.
So is this okay? So when Angel was talking about how there was a discussion, kind of a disagreement, but I think that they were missing each other's point. That this is all demonic, and with the whole AI, which I totally believe is demonic. Um, and that where he was saying they can't read your mind, it's not that they're reading their mind, but they can plant.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And then you think it's your mind because you're like, oh, that was just a thought in my head. Well, no, they're
Right.
whispering. And
So
then it
there is a
seems,
control there.
yeah, it really goes
I
pretty
hope.
deep.
Who are you talking
Shalom, sister. But yeah, no, they don't realize how deep it can really go. And Satan has used, or he has been able to use every single human being in existence to practice all this on. He was the one who made Adam and Eve fall. So they were perfect. We're not. So if he made perfect humans fall, like who are we to think, we're anything above that? And that's why in the scriptures, it always speaks about, putting on that armor of Yahuah, doing all these things through Yahuah, because he will protect us from that. He will
So
also
this,
reveal.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go
So
ahead.
that is where when you get some thought, you're like, where did that come from?
Yep.
Like that? Because I'll
Exactly.
tell you, there's some crazy stuff. Like, we used to party a lot and all that. And it's been quite a while. I mean, years actually. And then it'll pop in my head. It's like, we should get together and go, and go out. And I'm thinking, what in the world? And I was
Yep.
like, praise Yah, please take that away.
Yeah,
So
no, exactly.
okay, my husband had said something because he battled liquor. And he had said to me that addiction, while it can be physical, but he had said that truly that it is of your faith. And if you've got to be stronger than whoever's whispering in your ear. I didn't understand at the time. He really knew a lot more than I think he realized. Is that the secret of addiction?
Yes, and especially with these drugs and alcohol, alcohol, they call it spirits. These drugs and such, especially the heavy ones that are man-made and things, like that is pharmakia, 100%. So it's all witchcraft and sorcery and spells. And not that, drinking alcohol is bad, but when you have an addiction to it and
Right.
things like that, that's when it gets bad. And
That's interesting because I'm not going to say didn't have a taste for, his Jack, but his thing was when he felt bad, it's like he opened the door of his depression over, and his PTSD, all things really. It's like because I always asked him, like, I don't understand how if you know how hard it was to battle, why go back? He's like, because I just get the thought. And now that you say this, I'm like, oh my gosh,
yeah, no,
like those demons whispering.
it is. It's them whispering. And some people will like to dismiss that off as like, oh, you're giving them too much credit. Well, no, that's not the case.
Or maybe
You
we're
know,
not. If we underestimate the enemy, he'll get us.
exactly. And that's the tactics he uses. And you can see it in scriptures as well. That's why it says, hold every thought captive. Why? Because they may not be your thoughts. They may be whispers into your ear from these unclean ruach. And that's why it even speaks about test even every spirit that comes to you, because Satan himself poses as an angel of light. So you can be praying about something and then this unclean ruach will come to you because he'll see that you're praying and then give you a misguided answer. And if you're quick,
That's
yeah, like if you're quick to just dive in head first and like, oh, that's it right there, instead of waiting patiently for Yahuah to confirm it, you could be misguided by one of these misguiding ruachs.
yeah, that's
And
me.
yeah,
I mean, not now, but it was.
no, it was me as well. It was me as well. And unfortunately, it affects many because a lot of people don't realize, they pray and then they seem to get some kind of answer, but that's from an unclean spirit. You have to actually wait for that confirmation from Yahuwah himself. Because if we dive headfirst into things, it's going to turn out bad. And especially, like, if you're praying about it, you're praying hard, they know you're praying hard about it. They don't know what you're praying about, but they will come and they will give you some kind of answer that you're looking for. And you're going to be like, well, that's it. I'm going to go with it. No, that's very bad. And it's because Yahuwah allows us to be tested like that. And it's for a reason. Because when it comes down to it, are we going to choose him or are we going to choose the world? Like, whose heart are we truly going to follow? So that's why the patience and kindness and humbleness, it really comes into play, especially when you're praying and fasting about things. Because we don't even want to jump too quick to receive an answer. Not saying that he won't give you an answer really fast. Sometimes he will, but sometimes it'll take time. But how he worked with me is, I'll be praying about something and it'll be confirmed. Basically, I do it like scriptures, 2 or 3 witnesses.
I was
They're
just
going to
going to
be,
ask you. Yeah.
And that's how he works with me. I'll pray about something, and then someone will bring something up about it. Someone else who doesn't even know that other person will bring some up about it. And then sometimes it keeps going like that. I'm like, all right, I got it. I got the confirmation. Thank you. But yeah, that's how he works with me. Because I know I've prayed for things and then things come about, and I'm like, wow, this is the answer to my prayer. But it really wasn't in the long run.
Oh yeah,
You
I'm a
know,
diver.
yeah. No,
What's
I was a diver as well. I've learned to slow that down a whole lot. Can't be diving in because sometimes it's that shallow water and you crack your head open.
Well, that's interesting you say that because, like, with the calendar, I was unsettled for the first 2 years, and then when you guys found you're doing the Dead Sea Scroll thing and that, I'm like, okay, and my thing was also lack of confidence in my understanding because I mean, I've not been raised like this, so I didn't know anything. And so those that had been studying for years kind of asserted their, I guess, authority. And I know what I'm talking about and all this. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't. So I guess we'll just go with what you say. And
Yeah.
he's been working on me big time. Like, I didn't hear a big booming voice, but it's probably in my own voice. But I'm hearing, I'm like, oh, well, obviously, this is what you need to work on. And I need, and slow your roll. Let's, you got to test it. And I'm more of that. Let's dive in. Oh, okay, that was wrong. Dive in. That was wrong. Dive in. And if I'd been patient, which he's been working on me with, then I could have avoided all of that wasted time. Yeah, because it's been a year of, I think,
Yeah.
roughly a year since you guys found that, right? Or was that spring?
No, it was, well, when we first started studying it out was about a year and a half ago. Well, the aspect of Saturday not always being the Shabbat.
When did you
But
find the extra day?
it was probably maybe just over a year ago. It was before we started
Yeah.
this group, maybe like a month or two before we started the group.
Okay, so
And then we
when
started,
you first started this, I was here shortly after you'd started it. You guys were already into the discussion.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
And so
personally
yeah,
have been studying the Zadok calendar since 2016, 2017. One of those 2 years. It's been so long.
sorry.
But yeah, actually, it's almost coming up on 10 years I've been studying into the Zadok calendar.
Wow.
And it's only been this last like year and a half that we've gotten even deeper into it, and we've seen like, hey, look, like we've been lied to, especially about the Gregorian calendar and our weekdays and things like that. And honestly, that
You know
was,
that
oh, go ahead.
Ezekiel's Key said the same thing. They found this in January of this year.
Yeah,
The
we
calendar.
found
Now
it.
I know that they're a day off, and well, because they don't use the north.
Yeah, they actually found it because of our studies. They told me that.
Oh, there you go. I'm like, hey, they
Yeah.
found this too. Yeah. All right. Well, that explains that. Okay, so do you know Nick Vanderleen or Vanderlaan or whatever his
Oh
name,
yeah,
Vanderlyn? Okay,
we
so
know
when
them.
did he? Yeah, he's got some interesting things, but he along the same lines, because it was a stepping stone. I found Aaron, and then I found Nick, and then I found Aaron with Ezekiel's Key, and I was like, okay, I got to go back and find these guys, and that's when I was looking for you guys
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I didn't
no,
know any of them, and I'm like, all right, I got to go back there.
and yeah, no, we've watched like before this. I've watched Aaron, I've watched Nick, and all them, and just the way they come off is what
Yes,
deterred me. And I'm just like,
yeah.
these guys are just prideful. Like they know everything. That's what deterred me. But then it kept coming back around, even through different people. And I was like, okay, let me actually start looking into this. And so I started digging in, and that's where things were coming in that were confirming what everybody was saying. And I was like, my jaw was just dropped, and I was like, no way. Because I was going in to debunk it, kind of like people do with the biblical cosmology. They go in to
Right.
debunk it and only find out that it's true. That's what happened with me. I went into debunk this. I was like, oh, it's just a floating Shabbat. That doesn't happen. Well, it's not the Shabbat that's floating. It's a Gregorian week. And really, that was the hardest hurdle to get by, especially going public with it, because people love their Saturday Sabbath, like more
Oh
than anything.
yeah.
And as soon as you say it's not always a Sabbath, they're attacking you. They're calling you names. They're making things personal. People I was friends with, they turn their back on me, even though we still follow the Zadok calendar, just not the way they think it goes.
Right.
And and that's what, prompted me to try to bring us all together, because literally we're all on the same calendar. Well, same calendar layout from the Zadoks. We're just all slightly off, so we need to come together to work these things out. And that nobody wanted to work together, nothing. So, we just did our own group, and we actually started it just to present the calendar and the findings. And someone, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, we should do this every Sabbath. I was like, that's a good idea. So we did it, started doing it every single Sabbath. And, here we are. We have 208 members now. Wow, praise Yah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And, we just keep finding more and more things, and not only about the calendar, but other things as well. And actually, speaking about the calendar, I need to double check with Sister Natalie, but she should be doing a presentation on her slides and everything that she shared in the other group there, in the library group.
Right.
Maybe I already said this. But
Right.
yeah, to help all the newcomers that have just come in as well, and be
Right.
able to answer any questions. But yeah, it's been a long journey. Definitely not an easy path. We've definitely had our ups and downs here in the group. But that's when we realized, especially me, it's spiritual warfare. The enemy does not want this information out. This is why he's attacked our group, not only our group, but others as well.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
groups like Aaron and Nick and even Ezekiel's Key. We all face attacks because we're all so very close on the calendar. And the enemy doesn't want that.
Yeah. We've seen
And
that. Witnessed that. Like I was kind of stunned.
yeah,
The duel.
yeah.
So that's interesting because when I had mentioned to my friend Dawn that we're on the wrong calendar, I actually said to it a year ago. So I spent the whole year wasted on that calendar, that it didn't make any sense. This has got to be simple. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of us don't know. They don't know how to do whatever. I've never done a sundial, whatever, but we could figure it out. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, the Ruach told me, and because she does from equilux to equilux, the difference like takes however many days in between them, and that's the calendar to her. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
I'm like, well, it is what it is. She's like, well, I studied. I'm like, well, I think you need to study some more because I've been going over this for, well, at the time, 2 years. It's not making any sense. This is not right. And that extra day was like nailed it. And I was like, wait, you can't interrupt a year. But I didn't know what I was talking about then because I didn't know anything from anything. I knew a little bit of Enoch. I knew a lot of Jubilees. I knew nothing of the Dead Sea Scrolls other than certain. And I was like, all right, well, And I'm telling you, he sits there and he's like, his eyebrows cocked up. It's like, really? I'm going to give you this and you're going to walk away? Like, sorry. Yeah. And so then he comes right back around, and I just get this little feeling of, see what would have happened if you just pressed it, because I didn't go against my friend, because, she studied for years and years and years. And I'm so many things. Like, I didn't realize, like, when he showed me that we didn't start in the evening, you start in the day, the day's the beginning, it's sunrise. And I'd said something, and her and her husband were like, that's not what it said in scripture. I'm like, maybe we're reading scripture wrong. And yeah, and then he comes back, and he's like, well, I was told to, and they'd figured it out, but I'd sent him a video. This guy was explaining, why does he point out that Day of Atonement and
Passover.
the Passover start in the evening? Because if they already knew to do that, he would not have to spell that out.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's enough right there for me. Like, come on,
Yeah,
make it
and
make sense.
no, and that's what I've learned through my walk as well. There's lots of men who like to tickle ears. They don't have a firm grasp or understanding on what scriptures say, so they'll just basically make whatever up and be like, "Oh yeah, see, the Ruach told me." Well, again,
Yeah,
like I was just saying previously, well, the Ruach can tell you whatever, but what Ruach is that? And did you wait for confirmation, or did you just dive right into it?
right.
But
It's
I'm not saying I haven't made that mistake. But what I've
and
learned is,
I'm sure that I'll make it again, because I
yeah,
get overzealous, you know.
yeah, and I totally understand that. But sometimes that can be very bad for us, and I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
And it's just part of refinement, like go through the fire. And once we know these things, we'll understand better how to protect ourselves and fight against them.
right. We do better. We know better. We do better.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah. Truly, we are like children.
Yeah, no,
I'm looking
absolutely.
at it, I'm like, oh, I'm forever telling my kids that too. I'm like, oh, I'm just a kid. I make mistakes on a bigger level, on a different level than what you guys are making mistakes on. But I still do the same things you guys are doing. So you're not alone. They just look at me
Exactly.
like, tell me it isn't so. What? Huh.
Yeah, no, they'll get it. I'm sure. But
I
yeah,
hope so.
no, yeah, we just have to remember it's always a battle against these spirits and principalities. It's not against the flesh, meaning, we're not fighting each other, but we're fighting these spirits and principalities that will affect each other, affect us. And just even more reason why we truly all do need each other. And, I thank Yahuah for this group all the time. And, I never wanted to be any kind of leader or anything like that, but, he's had me take that position to be able to protect the flock, because I think my calling is to be able to help people. And I'm seeing that, especially these last few weeks. It's been very, very brutal, very rough, truly heartbreaking. But, through that, I can see I've been able to help others, and especially brothers and sisters in our own group. And I'm seeing more that maybe that's my calling, be able to help others, pray for them, just be there for them if they need to talk or anything. Because, I've been in that position where you feel you can't open up, or you're going to get bashed or trashed or tossed to the curb just for opening up. And, it shouldn't be like that. We all need each other for a reason, and we're all supposed to help build each other up. And, through the pain, really, and the struggles and the trials, I think that's what will reveal, or that's how he reveals to us exactly what our calling is as well. And so really all praise to the Most High, truly.
Yes. Praise Yahuah. It's amazing. I still, I'm sure that you guys all do too. But when you sit here and I look back at just the road took me so long. I'm, 54. Took me long enough, right? That he even considered revealing his truth to me and my family. It amazes me. I'm trying to get that through to my children that you don't understand how blessed you truly are. Because people that we love that are, they're smart. They've studied and all this stuff, and they're decent people as far as kindness and all that, but they're not seeking. And it took that one decision to seek him. And it just amazes me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's truly a blessing, and count it all a blessing, honestly.
Truth. Yeah.
I have quite the past myself, and partying, drinking, drugs, all of that. But you know what? It's people like us that he uses so we can give a
Right.
testimony for him, and then it all points to him and everything that he can do. And that way we can show others like, hey, look, I was once like you, but you can turn it all around.
Right. I don't know. It's just amazing. When you go through life and you're worried about this or you're worried about that, I'll just growing up and looking at things, it's like, gosh, I wasted so much time worrying about this and that and the other thing. And he still figured, well, and he was still there. Like he
Yeah,
knows,
yeah.
he knows our end from our beginning anyway, because he created us. But there are too many things when I'm going through that that I just knew that he was there, that he's the one who gave me the answer. Too many stupid decisions that I had made and then miraculously worked my way out of them. Yeah, there's only one that could do that. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same here.
mm,
You know, we can all make stupid decisions and mistakes and things like that, but he'll also allow us the chance to get out of that and turn it around as well.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, awesome.
I really appreciate all of you guys, truly.
Yes, I agree.
And
Feels good to be home.
yeah, exactly. It feels good to have a family and fellowship. It's definitely much more than some kind of sure. We are family. We're mishpacha. That's what it is.
Right? Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, we've already been going 2.5 hours here almost. Didn't even
Right?
feel like it.
I actually am gonna have to jump off here. I gotta feed them. They insist on eating.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about ending it here as well, and we can discuss it more tomorrow too for our Sabbath
We'll
fellowship.
be
Oh,
there.
man. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, no,
Love you
thank
all.
you all. Yeah, much love to everybody. Thank you all for coming and all your input. Love it.
So,
Yeah, we
bye.
will. We'll see you all tomorrow. Shalom.
Shalom.